Yep. Right, so how did you use media technologies in the construction and research, planning and evaluation stages?
Well, we decided that our evaluation was going to be in PowerPoint. This was because we decided that in order to illustrate the specific similarities between our media product and real media products, that it would be better to do it in point form with pictures rather than
so you can
essay.
see the comparison and that throughout.
Yeah.
We also used the internet. Internet was a large part of ours, obviously in the research stage. In order to find out other films, we researched what posters, magazines, trailers, especially YouTube. YouTube was a big part of our research.
When advertising our film, once we first went global, we put it on Facebook to get the most feedback we could from like friends we had on Facebook, and that was also part of our viral campaign, to have it out there that it's more accessible on internet because that's probably the most popular.
Yeah, it's also the cheapest way in doing it, as it didn't cost a lot and it reaches our target audience, because Facebook users are normally between the ages of 16 to 24, which was the audience we was attempting to target, and it allowed us to gain feedback on what people liked and what people didn't like.
Yeah.
We also uploaded our clip onto YouTube again, which allowed people to view it. I think we was on something like 80 views last time I checked.
I think it was. And that was good because that got to a worldwide audience rather than just on our Facebook friends. The Facebook campaign though was probably one of the most important things we used.
Yeah, it was most successful.
That was probably the most successful because questionnaires only reach a sample that you give them out to, whereas Facebook was able to be accessed by most of them.
Yeah. We also used YouTube in order to pick the kind of music that we wanted to use in our trailer, and
we were able to compare with other trailers what music they used and then find out what would work best with the atmosphere we were trying to create, which was like a haunted house, children.
Yes, that took us a couple of days to try and find them kind of things.
Yeah, we decided that by using iTunes as well, we could work out the nursery rhyme which we wanted to start our trailer with.
Yeah, which brings us on to iMovie. So I'll go through sound. On iMovie, in order to we had a slight issue at the beginning, was because we've got so many different sounds in it. Sometimes when some came in, it was kind of
the timings weren't right.
It didn't sound too good. So in order to do that, we had to click on it. We had to soften the music when it came in, giving it a bit more of an introduction to allow it
like more of a build-up sound rather than
Also, it allowed us to take the sound out of shots that we didn't need it in. For example, there were shots where we were speaking in it and we thought it would be more effective for us not to be speaking in the trailer.
The editing process of iMovie as well was we'd learnt that from our last media product. We thought that our last media product, the edits weren't as quick paced clean cut as they should have been, and we knew that from a teaser trailer we decided it was better to start with slow tension building shots at the beginning and then have a quick pace of edits to the end.
So then for the quick pace edits, that's when precision trimmer really came in, when we had to shorten the clips in order to keep them under 2 seconds, to keep the audience
to just
on
have
the edge.
flashes of images of different parts of our film that would just sort of like disorientate the viewer into not knowing what they were watching. The editing process we thought we did quite successfully this time.
Yeah.
We managed to do it quickly as well. I think that the experience of our last media product taught us how to use it this time. We learnt new things as well, like precision editor, the sound, how to soften it,
how to slow motion and fast motion things.
Fast
for example, my little exorcist
head turning movement.
Yeah, my little fit, we had to speed it up on iMovie in order to make that seem realistic.
Yeah. And on iMovie as well, we were able to use some of the features they have that on as well, because we used the sort of black in and black out for the slow shots, and that was probably one thing that built most of the tension in our trailer, that you were just sort of waiting for a loud noise or a fast-paced shot to start. And iMovie as well really made our trailer like the timing we wanted it sort of around 1 minute, because we didn't want to give too much away, and because we were including the twins in our trailer, it was important for us to have the fast-paced shots that you didn't see them, but you saw them enough to know what they
got glimpses of it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Photoshop was also another key aspect. That was what had to be used in order to create our poster and our magazine cover, which were 2 aspects of the promotional package.
the Photoshop was probably the one we had the most difficulty with. This is because the features on it and just plain simple things that we've used on Microsoft computers aren't really transferred to Photoshop, but you can't do some of the things you do on a normal PC. But we decided that the main thing we were going to use on our poster was just blurring out the picture, making it look more blurred. Then we took the picture on a digital camera and then we uploaded that to Photoshop, and then we just sort of played with it and like made the edges seem like it was surrounded with darkness. We installed our logo from our film onto the wall. This was probably the one thing we wanted to have on the poster, because it made
it gives the connection between the trailer and between the poster, because it was one of our what do you call it?
Features.
No. One of our titles in our trailer. Also used for our magazine cover. Obviously we did Total Film, which would need to be jam packed with everything you can got, because they're very busy kind of magazine covers, so it allowed us to upload different images from other films, from our films. It allowed us to put lots of titles on it, different fonts, different colours, different styles, in order to resemble the realistic kind of magazine cover. We
didn't have to keep it sort of black and red. We could use like a bright blue for the background. We tried to make it like
summer kind of.
Yeah, because our film's been released in the summer, and we'd use the twins throughout the whole campaign. We thought that it would be nicer to see them as like dressed up rather than in the costume and like what they look like in the film. It was nicer to have them sort of dressed up with an interview and like what they look like in real life, but they still looked as though you could relate them to the film.
The final bits of technology I'd say we used was probably the camera and the digital camera. Digital camera was obviously for the filming, and the camera is what we took the pictures on for our magazine cover and for our poster. With the digital camera, I suppose, pretty much new. Yeah, we used it last year. It was just to zoom in, zoom out, kind of pause it, and keep it steady on a tripod.
Yeah,
That was it basically.